919 Truth Sports Ride. Looking at that want you to come to their school. You had Iowa State, of course. I saw Florida had interest in you.
Yep.
SMU had interest in you. Arizona State, Ole Miss. Uh, I mean, big time conferences, right? So,
Yeah.
out of all those schools, including the SEC, why did you choose the Cyclones? Why did you choose Iowa State?
Man, I'm gonna be so real. When Iowa State called, I was like, oh no, like I'm not going back to the cold. I'm not going back far away from home.
Okay.
My initial plan was to go back closer to home, somewhere warmer, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, when I got here, I scheduled my visit because they had just kept texting me and kept like asking what was up, and I was like, why are these guys so like interested in me? Like,
All right.
what is it? And I never really looked into Iowa State. I mean, I know they had a good season and everything, but I didn't
Yep.
really keep up with their offense or who they had returning, who they, the receivers they already had here, things like that.
Yep.
So when I talked to them, I got up there. Me and my parents, we were kind of like already blown away just by looking at the campus and stuff,
All right.
the town. But when I really got in there and started really talking to these people, I was so fascinated because they were all just so genuine. Like how I was talking about Coach Harrell is
Yeah.
literally how all these people are. Like the head coach, he talks so good about everybody and so like positive about everybody. And he has
Right.
a resume of guys my caliber that he's put in the NFL, you know, that he's developed into the NFL. Xavier Hutchinson. He just had a guy named Jaden Higgins that just left here.
All right.
Uh, they had a lot of guys that came through here, but my main thing was who was going to develop me and who's going to make me like get to the next level. Who's going to help me get to the next level?
Right.
And when I went in, they had 2,000-yard receivers.
Yep.
Their offense is always based around the X receiver that moves around a lot.
Yep.
Um, and it was just like everything that I wanted. The only thing that was hard for me was being far away from home. And when
Right.
they told me like, we'll do whatever we can to make sure that your parents can get to any game,
Wow.
I was like,
Wow.
man, like. And then my youngest brother, or not youngest, but my younger brother, he's a senior high school, and he's going through his recruitment process.
East Carolina offered him, correct?
Yeah, so East
Yeah.
Carolina offered him,
Yep.
but they had said they would do the same. Like they would take him in as a preferred walk on, help him with his eventually maybe
Wow.
earning a scholarship. They had two safeties, literally the same position that he plays, that were walk ons that earned a scholarship.
Okay.
And it was like, man, like y'all are great people, man. Like, and then we asked the questions like, so when things go wrong, like what's gonna happen? And they had told us like, oh yeah, one of the players for like the first four games, Jaden Higgins, he was struggling. He wasn't playing to like the ability that he wanted to play at.
Right.
And I guess like the coach told him like just keep throwing him the ball, like he'll get it right, like he'll get it right eventually. And that just shows the trust level that they have in their guys and who they recruit. And they don't just
Right.
recruit like the players, they recruit the characters too. So there's a lot of guys here that are great people and that match my I guess you could say vibe. Like, like stay out the way, very like humble, very mature.
Right.
And it's just a great town, great people. So I mean, I love Ames. Glad
Yeah.
to be a Cyclone.
Yep.
Definitely miss my Pirates, but we'll always have those memories, and always have that flag. So
Right. And we appreciate that. So, because I was worried that if you left, would your brother still come? So, I don't want to get too deep into that because he has a decision to make. But I was hoping he
yeah,
would come to East Carolina. But we'll leave it at that because that's him.
yeah, I
So,
was about to say.
yeah, I've read that, and I don't want to mess him up because he hadn't made his decision yet, as far as
Yeah,
I know.
yeah,
I'm gonna
me
say,
neither.
oh, you know, okay,
I
okay.
don't want to mess up his
I
decision.
don't
I'm
either.
gonna let
That's why
him
I'm
do
gonna catch
his. I want
myself
to
and
do
be
it.
quiet. Yeah. So
Yeah,
real quick, I did look up because I when the guys transferring, I try to look at the positives of it and the negative stuff. That's that's just how I think. But all I
yeah,
saw was positive. Some of the positive things I saw was, of course, it's a step up in competition for you, which is what you need. It's a great
hmm,
conference you're going to be playing in. They had a winning season last year. They finished tied for the Big 12 champ, number one in the Big 12. They played in the conference championship last year. They were a ranked team all season. They did
yep,
win their bowl game, the Pop Top Bowl against Miami.
yep. Yes,
And
Miami.
the thing that's going to really affect you is they evenly run and pass the ball. They passed it for 473 times last year, and they ran it for 516 times. So that's an even, so they can't just um, can't just tune in on the receivers. They
Yeah,
got to play both sides of the ball.
yep,
The quarterback had over 3,500 passing yards. They had 2,000-yard receivers, as you said, they're both seniors.
yep,
So I do see where you can excel with your talents and excel on the bigger stage. So
yes,
all of those things I saw as a positive. So I understood why you made that move. You know what I'm saying?
yes, sir.
Um, and I'm pulling for a big season for you next year. You still got 2 years left, but I'm going to be watching every game. But let me ask you a quick question. We're going to end this with portal talk, okay?
Okay.
And I'm not talking about how good it's going for you. I'm talking about what you've seen overall. Do you think the portal is worth it for most players? Not the few who that it works out for. The majority
Yeah.
of players who go into the portal. Do you think the portal is worth it?
Uh, I guess you could say yeah. It kind of is a benefit because a lot of guys aren't gonna sit and wait their opportunity anymore.
Right,
And it goes back to being able to find a fit for you. With all the coaches getting fired,
right,
stuff like that, that can have a big effect on who's playing and who's not.
right.
So yeah, I definitely think the portal can help, but I also think that they need to fix the portal
Hmm.
um, with like the timing and stuff, like
Yeah, I hate the
the
timing.
timing, yeah, the timing, like the bowl games. Like I wanted to be able to play out the bowl game with ECU. Like that's one thing that I wanted, but the time was so bad that I wouldn't be able to do my recruitment. Like
Right,
so those were things that I always looked at. Like when I decided I wanted to, that was the hardest thing for me because I wanted to finish out my season with my guys. So
right,
that's the only thing that I would say about the portal is I think the timing needs to change, and they need to do a better job of getting a different time slot for these like portal dates.
right,
Whether that's in the summer, whether that's the May or during the spring. They could have these different like these two. I guess you got the two times at like the beginning of the spring and then the end of the spring. I guess so.
right.
Those are things that I mean. Those are the only things that I think can be fixed. But I definitely think the portal could benefit you, and I definitely think it's a good thing for sure. So
Okay. All right. Let me ask you this, because it's deeper than football. I mean, football or sports to me. Are
yeah,
you on track
definitely.
to graduate?
Yes, sir. So that's
Okay.
another
Good.
thing. That's another thing about Iowa State.
Okay.
So when I talk to the academic people,
Okay.
could
Good.
you? I'm gonna just let you guess what their like graduation rate, student athlete rate is.
High 90s, like 98%.
It's 100%.
It's 100%
A hundred
graduation rate for
percent.
the athlete. Wow.
Every single
Wow.
person them graduate. So like that was a big thing for me. And then another thing they said
Excellent.
was, okay, so if you declared early, like they had a guy that David Montgomery actually, the running back for the Lions, he went to Iowa State.
Okay.
So he actually comes back in the spring when they're off season. He actually does his credits to help get his master's.
Oh, he's still doing that in the off
Yeah.
season.
So he still
Oh,
so they let you do it forever. How long? No
I
matter
love
no
that.
charges, nothing. Just because you went to the school and you like have admission there, then you could come back and do your credits, get your degree, get your master's whenever you want. So that's a
Right.
big thing for me. And I was like, I mean, no matter what, I always state, no matter what, I'm gonna come out of here successful, and that's all that
That's
matters
right.
to me. That's all that
That's right.
matters to me. Whether it's
That's
football or not, I always told my parents I want to get my degree, and I promised to get my degree. So
Yeah, yeah, man, you kind of talked about that in our little texting back and forth.
Yeah, yes,
But
sir.
100% graduation rate is excellent. That's very, very rare from everything that I know
Yes,
about college sports. So
definitely.
congratulations to that and great decision. And I'm gonna end it with this. Outside of the same old advice that athletes give kids, like work hard. We know that by now. Get good
Yeah.
grades. This the same things we've been saying to kids for decades. What would you say to a kid if they really want to be successful on not just the Division One, on the college level, Division One, two, or three? Give me something different that you think could help them.
I would say find people that's done it. That's the main
Okay.
thing. Find
Okay.
people that's done it and done it at a high level.
Okay.
That was probably my biggest thing. Finding a receiver of somebody who's a big receiver that's done it at a high level. So my dad actually was good friends with the receiver David Boston, if you know him.
Okay. Who was that?
Um,
I don't remember him.
yeah, so David Boston played. He played receiver for the Cardinals. He played for a few teams, but he got
87.
drafted. Yeah, he
Number
got
87.
drafted over like eighth overall, I think, or
Okay.
yeah, eighth overall. He played for Ohio State. He had a big rivalry with Charles Woodson that era.
Okay.
So yeah, he's the guy that I always go to and the guy that I always get advice from because
Okay.
he's done it and he knows what it takes to get there to get to that level.
Right.
So my main thing would always be get advice from people that's done it and take it and like don't think that you're too good to get advice from somebody. Like don't think you have it all figured out because you never do. No matter how old you are, like that's
Right.
my dad always told me. Like you can always learn something.
Right.
So learn from somebody that's done it. Learn from somebody that's doing it at a high level. Like I mean, it's the same thing with this. Like I would come to you if I wanted to get in like podcasting, if I wanted to get into interviewing people because you're
Yes.
doing it. You're doing it. So
Absolutely.
that would be something that I would come and ask you. So
Right.
anything you're doing, just go ask somebody that's doing it, somebody that's
Right.
done it, and somebody that's done it at a high level and is being successful at it. So that's my message.
That's a great message. I'm gonna say this again. I told you this behind the scenes. I'm gonna say it in front of the people. I appreciate you reaching back out to me because you didn't have to do it because my channel is small, but it's growing. But right now it's small. You didn't hesitate. Every time I reached out to you, you reached right back out to me. So I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for playing for my Pirates. I do understand what you're doing and why you decided to leave. I'm going to be watching you on a weekly basis, like I've been doing it towards the end of the season. Every game that you play, and I'm gonna keep this channel up with it.
I'm
And
definitely.
I'm in the workforce now, so if you want, like I told you before, if you need anything, you have your resume, whatever it is outside of
Yeah.
football, I can help you with. I would do it. You got my phone number, and it is what it is. Maybe we can check back in during the season, just get an update on you. But I'm praying that you have a great season, man. Just keep up what you're doing, man, and you're gonna keep rising to the top, man. You've gotten better and better every year that you've been in college.
Yes, sir. That's the
So
goal. That's the goal.
that's you. Well, you achieving that goal. Just keep grinding, man. And I'm looking forward to watching you play with the Cyclones this upcoming football year, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you. I appreciate this interview.
No problem, man. So God bless you, man. Hopefully we hook back up again in the near future. And good luck to your season, bro.
Yes, sir. God bless, and we'll definitely be in touch. That's not
Yes,
even a
sir.
doubt. So,
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate
yes,
you.
sir.
Have a good
Appreciate
one, bro.
you.
Yes,
You
sir.
too.
All right. It's been Hunt 919 Truth Sports. Ride with me.